Hello, everybody. We welcome to our next segment of Where Are They Now? Catching up with our Olim. And today we're catching up with the Taragins, Sarah and Benji Taragin. And we're so excited to see you. It's been such a long time since I've seen your faces, so I'm really excited to get started.
I know.
So
it's crazy.
It is crazy. So first of all, tell us, how many years were you members of Beth Aaron?
We're members for 17 years.
Okay, 17 years. And
we came in 2000 and we made Aliyah in 2017.
2017, okay. And where did you move to when you moved to Israel?
We moved to Beit Shemesh.
Okay, and how long were you planning on how long was it between the time you decided to make Aliyah till, from the time you decided till you actually moved?
Wow, that's a tough question. We always wanted to make Aliyah. Life gets difficult and challenges come about, but it was always in our head. Okay. I think start to finish, it was how long? From when we decided we're going to make Aliyah till we actually made the plunge.
I don't know how to answer that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's a hard question.
Okay, so
6 months.
Okay, and oh wow.
A year?
So what made you decide in 2017 to take the plunge?
The shul, the membership fees were getting too high, and
we've always wanted to make Aliyah, and I think that the timing was working out for us. I felt that Israel had more opportunities for growth for our kids more than America did. I think that here in Israel, the priorities are very different than in America, and between the importance of family and experiences more than things was huge. Our daughter made Aliyah already a year before us.
Okay, I was going to ask you that.
And our son Hillel was graduating high school, and it just seemed like a good time.
The time was right. Okay, so Elisheva made Aliyah a year before you, and where is she now? What's she up to?
She is married to Ari Schiff. They live in Givat Shmuel, and she studied logistics in college, and she's working in logistics.
Okay, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And Hillel, what is he up to?
Hillel is actually a soldier in the Israeli army.
Wow.
He volunteered for a year, and then after a process, they decided that he was able to enlist. Wonderful. So he had his what we call a giyus about a month and a half ago, and he goes to the army.
He doesn't carry a firearm.
Yes, clearly they gave him, the word is hanchayot, they gave him allowances that make it doable for him. But don't everyone worry. Okay, he is not carrying weapons.
That is just wonderful. Weapon or not, that is just wonderful. That's great.
It really is. We're very proud.
Okay.
Very proud.
And your youngest, how is he?
And Yoni is in the 11th grade here in Israel, which is crazy.
I think of him as a first grader. Wow.
Exactly. He is in the process of bagruyot, which is very, very stressful. I think that across the world, 11th grade is very hard for students. Israel is up there with stress. These bagruyot are very intense. So he is always studying.
Okay. So how do you feel in general that your Aliyah experience, your absorption experience, how do you feel that went? And was there anything that, any advice you could give to people? It sounds like you made Aliyah in the right time of your kids' educational stages. How do you think they were absorbed? They were absorbed. How do you think they made that transition?
Well, I definitely think it's easier to make Aliyah when your kids are younger. Okay. That's for sure a very big statement, because we always say we should have done it when we were younger. And that knowing Hebrew for kids is very important. Some kids pick up the language quickly, and some kids take a very long time.
It was okay for our two older ones. For Yoni, it was challenging. He missed his friend's bar mitzvah year. And Hebrew didn't come naturally to him. Okay. He's working hard on it. I think that people who think they can pick a time based on what they think is going to work out, it's not really, it doesn't fall in neatly. So it's,
Yeah.
you know.
I think also if you just assume it's going to be really hard, and then if it's not as hard, it's a win.
Expect the worst and hope for the best.
Expect it to be very challenging.
They tell me the first 12 or 15 years are the hardest. Part
Okay.
of the way there.
And how did it work out for you in terms of jobs, in terms of, did you go directly to Beit Shemesh? Did you go directly? Did you have your housing set up? How did that work out?
We had our housing set up. We came to visit Elisheva the year before in January, and we said, oh, let's just look around Beit Shemesh with a realtor, actually Ruthie Uden.
Oh,
And
that's great.
yes, and we saw a house for 20 minutes, and we said, okay.
Wow.
Most people, when they make Aliyah, don't move into a house that they purchased. We're sort of unusual in that
Mhm.
regard. Most people rent for a while. We were just fortunate, so we had purchased the house after we sold our house in Teaneck. Yeah, I mean, Beit Shemesh is a great place.
Beit Shemesh is great. There are a lot of people here that don't, in our neighborhood, that don't have family here, and our friends are like our family.
Mm,
It's a wonderful community here.
wonderful.
I had to get licensed as a speech therapist here in Israel, and that was very, very challenging. But thankfully, I passed, and I started working as a speech therapist a few months after we got here.
Okay.
I got my medical license here in Israel after, again, different processes. And I work both as a radiologist in Israel and teleradiology from the US.
Okay, great. I'm so happy. It sounds great. I'm
Thank
hearing
God.
I'm hearing after all your trials and tribulations. So I'm hearing the good.
Yes, it's very smooth now.
Yeah. Okay, and so you picked Beit Shemesh because you were visiting Elisheva, and that's how you.
Well, we just thought that Beit Shemesh would be the best fit for us. The neighborhood we picked, we had Larry and Schiffer Schaefer here for a very brief time, which was really nice having friends from Teaneck in our neighborhood.
Sure.
And we didn't look at any other communities. We knew that Beit Shemesh was where we wanted to be.
Okay.
It was the soft landing for Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Very soft.
Mm-hmm. That's why you love
Very
to
soft.
there. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank goodness there's places like that. Do you have any? I know this is a very loaded question. Do you have any advice after looking back at your Aliyah and everything you went through? Any advice that you would give to people making Aliyah in terms of maybe what you should have done, what you shouldn't have done, in terms of like the logistics, more logistical?
Learn Hebrew.
Okay.
Especially your kids.
For kids to learn Hebrew, it's very important. My first year at work, I would walk around and use my phone for Google Translate. They all used to laugh at me. And I work in a ultra-Orthodox place. So I was quite a standout there.
Yeah.
But learning Hebrew is very, very helpful. Having all your paperwork lined up also makes a difference. Having good record keeping, that also is very helpful.
I mean, there's a lot of specifics on different sites, whatever. I think people need to realize that being an immigrant in any country is hard.
Mm-hmm.
The bureaucracy in Israel is different. People say it's harder. It's just like in America, you don't go through 6 months in which you get your driver's license, a mortgage, your health insurance, a new job, and a new license. You have stages where you do that, and then become as an immigrant, you don't have any of those things, and having to do them again, it's a lot to swallow. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's you're still an immigrant. You have to find a dry cleaner and a barber, a bank, and all of these things, and that's part of moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that sounds very realistic. Have you kept in? Okay, now these are going to be some Beth Aaron questions. Have you actually, before I get to that, any stories or any kinds of something that strikes you that you were not expecting when you made Aliyah, something that either good, bad?
One second. This is Beth Aaron? I thought this was Beth Am. I'm on the wrong call.
That's at 10:30.
Beth
Oh,
oh
no.
boy. Sorry. Okay, Beth Aaron. So
How
ideas
much
about
sleep
what
have you had, Benji? I mean, I don't know.
not,
He
you don't
starts
know.
work at 6
You don't
a.m.
know.
So it's by
So
now it's
any
bedtime.
Any stories? A lot of stories. I don't know which one, which stories it's,
I don't have any stories I can think of at the top of my head. I
Okay,
just think that our neighborhood is just very, very welcoming. So that was really, really nice.
okay.
let's see, stories.
Yeah.
You still think of stories, okay.
Stories.
I'm a little nervous when he's looking at me saying stories.
I know, I'm getting kind of
Stories.
nervous
Trying to
too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what story is
Investor's
appropriate.
nervous.
Well, I guess
Uh-oh.
I
Wait.
went to the gas station and there was no pump open, and I learned early on not to use the diesel pump, but there was another pump that I'd never seen before, and it had a blue handle and it said Aleph Vav Vav Resh Yud Hey. I thought, oh, Avira, maybe that's good for the environment, but it actually was urea, which is an additive that you use for diesel fuel, and I didn't know that it existed in a consumer product app. So I put that in the car, and then that was not good. So
That is true.
yes, make sure you're pumping the right gas. I've known some people put diesel in their car by accident, and I did urea.
Okay,
So
gosh,
that's a very PG story.
yeah, really.
No one to
Okay.
blame but myself. But yeah.
All right, that's gonna be hard to top for the next couple that I interview. All right, now getting back to Beth Aaron. So I wanted to know, are you in contact? How are you in contact with either former Beth Aaron members who made Aliyah or kids that come for their gap year, or how do you keep in contact with Beth Aaron?
WhatsApp is a wonderful thing. I've kept in touch with friends through WhatsApp, which is crazy because I never WhatsApped when I lived in America, and no one texts. They all use WhatsApp.
I'm on a Beth Aaron group on 4chan and Reddit.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a 4chan group, very active.
There's also a Beth Aaron who've made Aliyah WhatsApp group. So that keeps us informed about the smachot and the good news. Yeah, he's not.
I'm not on that.
When Baya Harris got engaged, which was wonderful, we heard about it through this WhatsApp group. So that's nice to keep up. And other friends who've made Aliyah, let's say Livia Weisiger, I speak to her on the phone, friends who are still in New Jersey. It's not like when we couldn't call till after 7 because it was a long distance phone call.
right.
Now it's very, very easy to keep in touch.
Okay. Any shout outs to anybody you'd like to, any happy memories? I'm afraid to ask Benji. Any memories you'd like to share about Beth Aaron? Any kind of?
We missed the shul dinners. I really would like to. Do they still have those in COVID time or
No.
no?
I mean, we are gonna have one hopefully in March, but we didn't have one last week. It was online.
I think I remember one time it was a shul dinner, and I don't remember who the honoree was, but I remember that I wasn't close with the honoree, but when I was dancing with the women at the table around the room, I looked around the circle and I said, I may not be friends with many of these women, but they're all such good people. They're all so nice. And I just think that Beth Aaron is a great shul. It's just so warm and down to earth. And I love the diversity of the shul, which I think was also fabulous.
Mhm.
So it was always a nice place to walk into.
Okay, that's nice.
I miss davening with people who had such kavana.
It's kind of like Beth Aaron is kind of like the TV show Cheers.
Yes.
Where everyone knows your name. Oh, hi, doesn't matter if you're downstairs, upstairs. Thank you for reaching out.
No, this was I hope people have a good time, and this is for the rabbis retiring, or what? What is this?
This
Stop
is
it.
turning 50.
Happy 50th. Happy 50th.
Right,
Yeah.
50th anniversary. 50 is gold, right?
We
What's
want
the 50th
gold.
50 is gold.
We want a new directory.
You want a
picture
directory? The directories are actually they're I don't think we do any kind of hard print directory. It's all online. So
Okay.
Happy 50th anniversary, Beth Aaron.
Happy 50th.
okay, it's great to
50
come.
more years. 50 more years.
All right.
Have a great one.
Be well. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.